Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 7th. It is 6:19 right now. Market's gonna open in about 11 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a few things here to update. To my apex here. A few more things here to update. And we are good to go. All right. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link sent out. And it looks like we are good to go. Perfect. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Looks like we're near that all-time high again. And it's crazy how so much liquidity got hit yesterday after a pretty slow market for a pretty long while. Yeah, market's been kind of slow during Asia session. Looks super flat right here. All right, looks like we are good to go. So, okay, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 7th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. I've marked up liquidity above at 43,937 and the closest level of liquidity below at 43,888. So there goes the two closest levels of liquidity to current price. We have more liquidity sitting up here, and we have some more liquidity sitting below here as well. So we got liquidity on both ends. We'll kind of see how this ends up moving along once market opens up. But it looks like we are good to go here so far. So I'll be calling the direction of the breakout shortly in about 5 minutes. And then we'll go from there. Price has pretty much been ranging right here so far. So we'll see what happens here in the next few minutes. ATR right now is currently at 10, so it's pretty decent. It's not super slow. It's just kind of where it should be. So, all right, we got market opening up shortly in about 6 minutes. See what goes on here. Hey, Brock, morning. Yeah, you missed yesterday's trades. Yesterday was pretty good. If you guys missed the live session yesterday, we had a pretty good amount of wins yesterday. We took the breakout. That was a full TP, of course. These are the profits across all of my hedge fund accounts and my personal accounts. And then we took a market flow V2, of course, for also a 30-point win. So yesterday was pretty solid. I know for you guys here on the YouTube, it wasn't live stream yesterday. There was a few people who were on here. So if you were able to get on the live stream immediately when we got live, you were able to get into it. But if you were slow and you were late, obviously it was unlisted, so you couldn't get in. Yeah, so just make sure you get in early, Brock. Like get in like right at 6:20 because the stream will be posted on YouTube. It just automatically gets posted when I go live. And then it becomes unlisted within the first 5 minutes. So tomorrow, there's not going to be a stream. So if you want to get on, just make sure you get on pretty early to just hop onto it. Hey, Lila. Morning. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. Looks like pretty much everyone's almost here. Yeah, Kong was here. Kong actually you made it to the live session, right, Kong? I remember I saw you in the chat and I was like, how did Kong get in? But he was here on time, so he's able to get it. Yeah, yesterday there was a lot of liquidity. Day after the election, there's liquidity that was hit on both ends. And there was just a lot of entries that came up yesterday. So yeah, with that said, we got market opening up in about 3 minutes, guys. So in a few moments, I'll call up the direction of the breakout. And we'll see where it goes from there. I believe we had news this morning too. Let me check the calendar real quick. So we had news over here. We had news at 5:30. It was pretty mixed. So we had continuing jobless claims, 4-week average. So 5:30 a.m. we had some news. I'll mark up news price right there. And we got some loan pack news here at 7 o'clock at 7:30. So 7:30, we got some loan pack news events coming up. Hey, what's up, Seven? Morning. Yeah, no, definitely, Barack said I'm excited to do K2 with the Trump indicator. I know the volatility should be a lot higher, and hopefully more direction as well as we enter this Trump trading era. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna look at it from over here because I don't want to have to some changes to this. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about a minute. We got market opening up in about a minute. So the breakout for today is going to be a buy. Kind of depends on how this candle here moves, but the breakout for today is going to be a buy. All right, we got market opening up in about 40 seconds. We got 30 seconds till market open. We got 20 seconds till market open. 15 seconds. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is open. And let me see if I can make some adjustments to this here.
Order filled.
68. $68. So let me go and just mark this up right here. So we got some choppiness right here on open per usual. Got that pending buy signal right there as well. So you got the breakout kind of pushing through around right here. Make sure everything's proper. Okay, just got in at a little bit of a discount, looks like. Right below it. So we just need to push up a little bit higher from where it's currently at. We got the buy signal right there. Price is pushing up a little higher now. And the volatility on open, it's there, but it's not like fully there yet, right? For the breakout, typically we get that volatility where it like pushes and it kind of blasts right through. We got the liquidity over here. So liquidity got hit. Looks like it's bouncing off the news price right here, 530 news price. But if you guys took liquidity right here at this first level, it already hit full TP. So full TP on that first level of liquidity right there. Markup opening price right here. But yeah, so first level of liquidity right there got hit already. Price is kind of just sitting around this area. It's now currently ranging between opening price and the news price from earlier this morning at 5:30. So we got that right there. And there's just not very much direction here. So we did get a lot of the market excitement from yesterday, and then now we're still kind of back in this sideways market, which was expected. I mean, we had a big bullish push yesterday, so now I'm expecting the market to kind of like calm down a little bit. Looks like price might come down over here, touch the liquidity, or might even come down to the sessions right here, maybe bounce off that. But it's pretty much ranging right now within this. I mean, it's not even a big range. It's a very small range where price is currently at. So we got price kind of just sitting right here right now. It might come down and touch the liquidity, fake out, and then swing back up. But it's kind of like in between a session sandwich right now. So we got the New York high right here. We have the Asia low right here. The TP for the breakout is right here, right above the sessions. Guess we'll kind of see how this here reacts to the sessions below. And unfortunately, our stock got hit on the breakout. So it's all good, guys. It looks like this might be another break-even week, which is really unfortunate, but it's all good. We had a win yesterday, so this is kind of just recouping some of that. We're basically at break-even for the week, for the breakouts at least. And I was really hoping these the consolidation ranging markets were going to be done with, but it's not looking like it's gone yet. So I'm hoping tomorrow and the next week, as you know, more Trump news comes out, we'll have more of a direction. Again, I don't care if price goes up or if price goes down, right? We just need price to be volatile. You can see over here, it looked pretty good on open, and then it came right back down. So here we go, as price drops a little lower. If you guys took the liquidity down here, full TPs on both of these entries, so full TP right here. For liquidity below, this blue line, liquidity right here, full TP as well. And price is still dropping from this lower point as well. So, all right, other than that, we will continue to follow through right here and see where price ends up pushing to. So let's see, let me take this off. So I'll be looking for some scalps here once we have some more direction. I'm not sure if the direction here is going to hold for itself. Price might easily just come right back up, right? It's just, we're currently in this chop right now where price is going to continue to go a little bit sideways. So I'll mark up this on the clean chart, the levels. And this one right here. All right, so this is kind of where price is ranging right now. And it's ranging between the 950 and the 850 right here. You can see how the fake out is happening now. Price is coming right back up. Let's see what we got here. So market open right here. Price pushed up, man. We were really close to our TP too. It was at 41 points. So we were like really close to our TP right there for the buy. And here it goes. Price comes all the way back down. So it wouldn't really matter if we were doing a 100-point or 50-point TP stop loss. This year still would have had the same fate. So wouldn't really make a difference there. I'm going to stick to the 50 now for the time being because the volatility still isn't really there on open. Either way, this year still wouldn't have played out if we took the 50 or the 100. Let's see, CJ's asking, is anyone else having trouble logging into their Ninja or TraderVate? I'm not sure. Is anybody else having issues? I'm fine. Mine's on. Mine's working pretty smoothly. Nothing, no issues with mine right now specifically. Yeah, let me take a screenshot of this real quick. I will put this. Man, I was hoping our win streak was about to start because this week was looking pretty good. I mean, we had a win on Monday, we had a loss on Tuesday, win on Wednesday, and then today obviously lost. So it's basically a break-even week for us so far. Yeah, not the best week for the breakout. We have one more day, so tomorrow obviously I'm gonna take the trade, and then we'll go from there and see how that hopefully yields a one net win for this week. It's kind of what I'm aiming for the most part. Other than that, we'll look for some scalps here. So let me turn off my laptop real quick. Let me just screenshot this. I'm going to turn off my hedge laptop. So I'm done with this for the day. Looks like we are good with my hedge fund laptop. So I'm going to turn this one off. Okay. Once we have some direction here, I'll start looking for some scalps on my Apex accounts. Switch to my second laptop. All right, so looking at this right here, if you guys are looking to take some entries, next entry is going to be, well, there could have been an entry right here at the 80 mark. There's one that's currently running right there for market flow V2. I just wanted to confirm that the direction was actually going down. Now that the direction is confirmed, we can probably start looking for some entries here. So there's one market flow V2 that came up right here. Price kind of came down, retraced, came back down from there. Next up, we'll have like another entry that should maybe pop up again after. So, all right, entry is going to happen right here at the 70 mark. If anybody is looking to take the scalp here for market flow V2. So it'll be right here at the, I mean, it's pretty high up. Pending order right there.
Order submitted.
And I'll follow it to see if it moves any lower. I think 70 is probably going to be the price right now, at least for the time being. All right. Yeah, 70 is probably going to be the closest. 60 is kind of far down right now. So this is for my Apex account, guys, not for my personal. My personal is only for the hedge. So my stop loss has moved in profit to 10 points. All right, I got stopped out right there at 10 points. You guys can see my order right here. It got filled at 870. Price came down. My stop loss got moved in profit, pushed back up, stopped me out in profit. So I got out of this with 10 points. I got some pretty bad slippage on that, but it's okay. So there goes that right there. There goes my first entry. I'm no longer in this position. Now I'm gonna wait for the next one. You guys saw how everything kind of did its own thing there. I just had my pending order. When it came down, my stop loss was moved in profit to 10 points, and then I got out for profit. So there goes one entry right there. Let me just move this back real quick. One entry for market flow. I'll move that out of the way. I'm not in the position anymore. This market flow entry came up at 640. All right, so there's a buy signal there. Now you have to wait for another sell signal to come up. Let me just take a screenshot of my profit so far. All right. All right, so I'm break even for the breakout for this week, and then here's my profits for that scalp. I was supposed to make 500, but the slippage is just kind of crazy on that because the price spiked up. So I got it at 205, which is okay. Profit's profit. That's like the one downside of using a trailing stop is that you're going to get hit with a lot of slippage if price is kind of spiking around a lot, but it's okay. I mean, it's kind of the price you got to pay if you're going to be using a trailing stop. Otherwise, if I just had a regular TP, I could have just pulled out, but it's all good. I don't mind having a trailing stop because when it does hit full TP for the 30 points, it's a big win. So with my scalp trades, guys, I have my TP stop loss sets at 30-30. My trailing stop is set to 10. So as soon as price gets to 11 points in profit, my stop loss gets moved in profit to 10 points. And then I just either let it hit 10 points or I let it come down to the full TP, which is 30 points. So, hey, William. William says he loves liquidity. Took 5 of them, locked in a profit of 420. Nice work, William. So here are William's profits right here, locked in 420 for the day so far. So I'm looking for a sell signal here. Once I get a sell signal, I'll look for some more market flow V2s, but we don't have that sell signal yet, so I can't take anything. Again, yeah, once the sell signal closes, I'll start looking for some possible opportunities for entry. We do need that there to close. So yeah, locked in 205 right here per account. Overall for the week's not super high. I mean, it's just pretty steady for the most part. Let's see. Seven said, "Do you think people will take profits on open because it's so high?" Um, Not necessarily, because people are barely getting into positions on open. So I don't think people are taking profits on open here. Well, at least not for the futures market. The futures market, you can't hold something overnight. So they're not holding stuff from like the previous day unless they took it during Asia session, which I doubt because Asia session didn't really move very much. So yeah, for the futures market, you can't hold stuff overnight like that because everything gets liquidated at end of day. So I don't think so. No, I think, well, for the most part, usually when price gets to all-time high, people buy even more and they just keep pumping it even higher. I mean, we're currently like right near the all-time high again. So this could probably push past the all-time high today or tomorrow. There's just no direction today. So you guys can see how the market's currently moving. Here's a clean chart. There's just not much going on here, right? Price is going back and forth. Yesterday was great though. Yesterday we hit a bunch of entries. We're net profitable for the month, for the week so far, and for the month. The breakout's currently at break even for this week, unfortunately, but I mean it is what it is. That strategy is meant to be break even for the most part, anyways. So for the breakout strategy, we're early in the month, and the net profitability for that strategy is like a 65 to 68%. So we're super early in the month. And typically that strategy yields about, like 1 to 4 net wins per month. So I'm hoping tomorrow's gonna be a win because if tomorrow's a win, then we'll be net one. And then I'll just add to the scoreboard for the month of November. But yeah, it's just gonna take some time. Got a whole month ahead of us. Let's see. Paul said, with Trump in office again, I'd like to see my retirement account go up another 10K. Yeah, no, all of my investment accounts, they went up pretty heavy yesterday. Obviously, you guys saw the bullish push. So I think everybody's accounts pretty much went up super heavy. Unfortunately, I'm not really seeing that to happen, Paul, because I think this is a different Trump era because the thing is, if you followed his policies, I mean, a lot of people don't really follow. Like people just like Trump because Trump's Trump. But if you look at his policies, it's actually not really that good for the economy, at least not for the beginning. Right now, you're not going to see it affecting the market too much, but next year you're going to see a lot of it because he's gonna implement a ton of tariffs. So when the tariffs go into place with China, the price of everything's going to go up. So price of everything's going to go up. Inflation's going to go up. On top of that, real estate's going to go up because in order to control inflation, they need to raise interest rates, right? So interest rates are going to go up. It's going to be hard to buy a house again. It's going to be pretty hard first couple of years because he has a lot of things in mind that he wants to implement that is going to affect like the traditional consumer. If you're like super rich, the super rich are going to get richer, of course, because it's going to be so super expensive to borrow money, and the rich people already have cash, so they're basically going to buy everything at a discount because regular people can't buy stuff. There's a lot of things that are going to happen behind the scenes, like the war with Israel and the Middle East. Trump is buddy with the whoever's in control in Israel. I forget his name. It starts with an N, but he's buddy with him. So what's going to happen is he's going to let Israel do whatever they want. Before Biden was kind of preventing Israel from attacking Hamas and stuff, but now it's full on war. And if you guys saw, there's been news articles. Hamas basically called for an end of war because they already know what's going to come. Once Israel gets like the green light to go and pretty much blow up the whole country. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on around the world. We might even go into another war, honestly. There's with Trump in house, there's a lot of consequences that people don't think about, like with Ukraine, right? So this is kind of a good thing because, I mean, depends on like where your morality stands. Like Biden's been sending like billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, right? Now that Trump's president, Trump is going to cut off Ukraine completely. He's like, if you guys want to fight, then fight. Handle your own fight. We're probably not going to send them any more money. So that's going to help with our deficit here, but there's like a balance. Like we're going to pull out of a lot of international things, but then we're going to have a bunch of tariffs on China, and then Trump's going to have to vote on like the whole TikTok thing with Taiwan. There's a lot of different things. that yeah, and Nathaniel. Thanks, Daniel and Barack. Yeah, Trump, if you guys do some research on Trump, him and Nathaniel, they're like buddy buddy. Like they have a close relationship. So basically Trump is gonna Biden's been preventing Israel from attacking Hamas and Palestinian stuff. But now Israel is pretty much gonna have like the good to go to do whatever they want because him and Trump are buddies. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, the US might even join the war. Who knows? We'll see. It's gonna be a crazy 4 years. Um, so the thing with that is that it's probably going to be good for us as traders because it's going to cause a lot of volatility in the market. If we go to war, the stock market's probably going to go up. Um, the stock market's obviously directly correlated with the futures market, and you're just going to see a lot of craziness going on. It's going to be an interesting 4 years to live through, of course. I'm hoping there's not going to be another crazy pandemic. I feel like something like that may happen. If you guys have been following the news too, RFK was promised a healthcare role in the new government by Trump, and he's super anti-vaccine, and he just has like he has a big opinion on healthcare. So we'll see. I mean, there's no need to worry about anything. It's whatever happens, happens, right? All right, so here's price. Yeah, as you guys can see, this is what I was telling you guys earlier. Price is pretty much within this range. I drew this range before it even happened. I was like, price is probably gonna sit within this range. And this is kind of annoying because our TP for our breakout was like right there. So if we didn't get caught in this fake out right here, price would have just came up and probably hit our TP, but it's all good. Like I said with the breakout, you can't really control the market, especially when there's no direction. You can see here that the market was supposed to be bullish, but we just got caught in this fake out right here. This just faked out really quickly, and then it came all the way back up to where it's supposed to go. So I mean, it's just part of the market, guys. This is why like I don't really get upset when we lose a breakout because I already knew that the market was going to be bullish today. It was just, I mean, either way, if we had a 100-point stop loss, it still wouldn't have survived this drop right here. Because this thing dropped, let's see, from open. This thing dropped 110 points. So either way, if our stop loss was 50 points or 100 points, it still would have stopped us out. But you can see here that price is now pushing back up. And yeah, it's just the market that we're in. I already knew price was supposed to be bullish. I was more inclined to take a buy here. And you can see here that price is now pushing all the way up to where our TP was. So it's all good. I'm going to be looking for some scalps here. So we don't have any scalp entries here yet, but what we need to look for is look for price to come back down for a retrace and push back up higher from there. CJ said, my Ninja is saying unable to connect to a remote server. Anyone familiar with that error message? I've never seen that before, CJ. I mean, your internet's working because you're on the live right now, of course. Oh, that's weird. I've never seen that error before. Maybe close out your NinjaTrader completely and then try to reopen it. Kong said, look at this. It's straight up back, comes back after you took it. Yeah, I know, right? It is this is what I was saying. Like the direction here should have been bullish, but I mean it's all good. The Yeah, it's kind of just what we got to deal with when you trade. It wouldn't even matter because if you're like, this is why I prefer scalping more than these bigger trades because in a sideways market like this, scalping is king basically. So if you guys are looking to take an entry for the market flow V2, it would be right here at the 30 mark. I didn't get into this position here because I was waiting for the retracement. But if you are looking to take entry right here for market flow V2, it would have filled right there. For me personally, I don't like taking the first touch. I like waiting for it to kind of hit first and then continue on further. There you go, full TP on the market flow V2 if anybody caught that right there. There's low impact news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. So yeah, if you guys took that entry right there, it already hit full TP, so you're done with that. I wouldn't go for the 30 points because we have the sessions and news price up here. Now that we have a sell signal, there's no more entries here. You got to wait for price to come right back down. Or you need to wait for a buy signal to come up. So either we get a buy signal here or you wait for price to come back down and swing back below here. That's weird, CJ. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never seen that. Did you try logging into is it your Apex or is it a different broker? Because I'm logged into I was logged into my personal account. That was fine. I never logged into a remote server. For Apex, mine's fine right now. I'm still logged into it. Yeah, I'm not sure. You can't log. It looks like it's an issue with your account. Is it your personal account or is it Apex? Because if it's Apex, maybe it's just your Apex account. You're able to log into Apex. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it sounds like okay, your personal account's fine. It's just the Apex account that's having issues. You didn't happen to cancel that account, right? I've seen a couple of people sometimes they cancel an account, they try to log in and it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure that's not your case because yeah, why would you cancel the account? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, yeah, that's weird. Not sure. You might want to just reach out to Apex support and they can probably maybe you have to have something reset on your end or on their end actually. Yeah, I think everyone else is fine who's logged into Apex. I don't know. Does anybody else here have an issue logging into Apex? I haven't heard anybody else say anything. Yeah, Daniel's fine. Kevin's fine. William's fine. Yeah, it might be like an isolated issue, CJ. So probably message their support. They hopefully they get back to you quick. I feel like they're not as busy as they were before. Guys, so I don't know if you guys have been following Fast Track. We were talking about Fast Track a while back, right? I was waiting for Fast Track to get Tradeovate before I started trading with them. I'm kind of glad I didn't go on Fast Track. They're having so many issues right now with payouts. Like if you guys remember how like the Apex Discord was like kind of crazy, Fast Track is like even worse. It's like everybody in there is going crazy because they haven't paid them out in like 30 days or something like that, or even more like 2 months. So I would not recommend using Fast Track right now if you guys are looking to use Fast Track. If you want to use something straight to funded, I would use Tradeify. If you guys want to use my link, it's a discounted link. So you guys could sign up. So if you guys want to use something that's straight to funded that you don't have to do an eval for, just go to FAQs over here. I got a payout from them on like one account and they pay out pretty quick. They pay out within 24 hours. So just go to FAQs over here. If you guys want the link, I could post a link right here for anybody who's looking to do it. They're pretty good. I mean, they actually surprised me. I think it's because they're not super busy yet and they don't have a lot of clients yet, but their payouts are quick. Like once you request a payout, they send it to you within 24 hours. They use Rise, so it's like pretty quick, straightforward. But yeah, if you want to do it straight to funded, I wouldn't recommend doing Fast Track. I have never used Fast Track, so I've never recommended them. The only one I can really recommend would be uh Tradeify. Yeah, Oscar said I love the end of day rule that they have. So the good thing with Tradeify is that they don't have a trailing drawdown. Like your drawdown will be it's end of day. So like you can't it's not like Apex where like if you make profit and then you could still blow your account even though you're in profit. with Tradeify, they don't calculate your drawdown until the end of the day, which I think is solid. So you can take the breakouts with that specific account too. All right, so we got news right here. It's low impact news at 7 o'clock. It's positive. I'm not going to draw a line there because it was low impact. We got price kind of going sideways here a little bit. So if you guys are looking to take some market flow V2s, we need to wait for that buy signal to come up. And once that buy signal comes up, entry could happen right here at the, what is this, the 9:30 mark. But you do need that buy signal there to close. So the buy signal has to close first. Yeah, Kong said I don't like how you need to hit a buffer. I know it sucks. All the prop firms require a buffer now. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Even Apex requires a buffer. Yeah, that's probably the main downside to a lot of these. Well, I mean, basically every prop firm. That's why I prefer to trade my personal account, especially for the breakout, because it just makes more sense. But yeah, the buffer does suck. I mean, you have to make like I think 6,700, which is kind of high. All right, so we have no entries here right now, guys. We're still waiting for that buy signal to come up. We need that buy signal here to come up first and close. Once it closes, you can start looking for a possible entry for market flow V2. Almost there, Brock. Brock said there goes your momentum. Not yet. It looked like it was going to close, but not quite. All right, so we got the momentum right here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the entry for market flow V2 would still be down here right now. If you guys are looking to take it, I'm not going to take it yet, but it's going to be right here at the 9:30 mark. I guess I could place the pending order just there to be waiting so I could drag it later.
Order submitted.
Oh shit, already filled. I was hoping it wasn't going to fill yet because I was trying to drag it up as it moved higher. So I'm already in the position right here, guys, for
Order
the market flow V2. This wasn't really an entry that I was planning on getting into. I wanted to just leave it there and then pull it up as price moved higher, but unfortunately I got stuck in the position. So if this here closes with a sell signal, I'm gonna have to pull out of it. I'm gonna watch it right here. I gotta close out of that. All right, so I accidentally got into that position, guys. Sorry. I don't think anybody else got into it, but I was trying to just put a pending order here and I was going to drag it up as it climbed up higher. But unfortunately, I got stuck. It filled my order before I was able to cancel it. This is the downside with the sideways market. And if you're looking to scalp, so what I was trying to do here is when this buy signal came up, I was going to put a pending order right here. And I was going to drag it up higher. So I was going to have it waiting there. And as it pushed up higher, I was going to pull it up to the 40 mark. But unfortunately, I ended up, it just filled and then I just ended up getting stuck in it. I was hoping it would push back up a little bit so I could pull out for a break even or a small profit. But that wasn't the case here, of course. Don't make that mistake, guys. Don't get overly eager with your entries. If you know that it's not ready to get in yet, probably don't put the order in there, especially if the market is going sideways like this. So this is why I typically don't trade after 7 o'clock is because this happens. Right, the back and forth. I was hoping, well, I was anticipating this to actually push up and climb up higher, but obviously you guys can see that wasn't the case here. Price ended up going sideways and then now it's staying in this little range right here. So this isn't the best market for market flow V2s. If you guys want to take any entries, I think probably want to stick to the sideways strategies for right now. So like V1 variations, what else is there? So V1 variations, CD patterns, high-low momentum scalps, stuff like that. those might be your better options for today because you can see here that there's just nothing going on. Same thing happened with our breakout earlier. We've been in the sideways market here for the past hour now almost. So price has been within this range since 5:30. So 5:30 this morning, price has been within here. It's currently 7 o'clock, so we're about an hour and a half into this range. Lamal said, Sean, did you consider trading ICT concepts? No, never. Never considered it, like ever. Never tried to look at it or any of that stuff. The thing with that is that there's so many concepts that it's pretty much a repackage of like what everybody does already. They just use different names. So no, I don't use theirs. I mean, that's the whole reason I've been successful at trading is because I'm not jumping from strategy to strategy. I just stick to the same momentum trading that I've been doing for, past 8 years. That's the main reason why a lot of people fail at trading. Realistically, it's because, and I talked about this with Lila yesterday, right? We talked about this. The reason why a lot of people fail at trading is that they keep going from strategy to strategy. They think there's something better out there. I mean, realistically, it's not the strategy that sucks, it's the person that sucks. So if you've been trading like a specific strategy for like say over a year or 2 years, it's probably not the strategy, it's probably you that just suck at trading, right? Because the thing is you can apply any strategy, whether it be my trading style, whether it be support and resistance, whether it be ICT, whether it be whatever it may be. They're all profitable at some point. It's just the person who's applying the strategy is usually not good at following directions. That's usually what it is. And some people, it's a tough pill to swallow, right? Like they don't want to be the reason why they suck at trading, but it usually is. Because what happens with a lot of people is they'll use a strategy, it'll work for a little bit, they'll bounce to something else, it'll work for a little bit, they'll bounce to something else, they'll work for a little bit, and then they just keep going from strategy to strategy to strategy, and they just end up sucking all together. If they just stuck to one strategy and they just kept doing that, they would have been good. Because yeah, there's going to be times where the strategy is working well. There's going to be times where the strategy is not working well. There's going to be times like this where price is consolidating and it's going to work here and there. But it's really just consistency. So yeah, that's really what it is. And there goes your answer, Vimal. You seem to ask a lot of questions like this where it's like they're kind of like they're self-explanatory. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's easier if you hear it from me versus you kind of thinking, okay, why would this person not use ICT? It's really that you have to stick to one thing. I feel like with a lot of people, not just like trading, but like in general, if someone would just stick to one thing and get really good at one thing, they would be successful at something, right? Not just trading, but like I have friends who've done e-commerce. Like I have friends in different types of business spaces, right? I have friends that do e-commerce. I have friends that do real estate. I have friends that do wholesale. I have friends that do like they have their own specific thing that they do, and they're really good at it. I also have friends that try to do a bunch of things. Like they try to do e-com, trading, real estate, crypto, all this stuff, and they just suck at everything, right? They're not good at anything. So yeah, it's the same with like trading, stick to one strategy, stick to one style. If you want to swing trade, then swing trade. If you want to day trade, day trade. If you want to scalp, then scalp. But if you can't stick to one thing, or if you keep looking at different things, that's kind of what like throws off a lot of people because the things are they're gonna conflict. And that's like another thing why like ICT doesn't work for everybody, right? Because the thing like ICT, he has like it's not even his stuff. Like I hate how people refer that as his concepts. Those concepts are like it's just trading, it's price action. He just packages them into one thing. The thing is, there's so many concepts out there. Like how many concepts does he have? Like hundreds of concepts that like there's always gonna be a time where something is working, right? There's always gonna be a time when something is working, but most of the time he has so many concepts that you're going from this concept to this concept to this concept that you're just going to fail every single time. So like if you do follow his concepts or his quote unquote concepts, just stick to one concept, like one type of style versus Like, oh, I gotta use this during this market, or I gotta use this during this market, because that's going to you're just gonna be in a cycle, right? It's a cycle where you do well. And I've showed you guys a cycle before. It's like you're like stuck in a box, right? And we've talked about this before. It's like profitable, question strategy, style, losing due to own mistakes, mixing up strategies, changes, strategy, style, blown accounts, blame on everyone else but self for losing. And then back to the same thing. So this is like the cycle that almost everybody goes through. You're profitable for a little bit. You start to question the strategy, the style. You start to lose because you get stuff mixed up. Then you change your style. You go to you join another group, or you start trading a different type of style or strategy. You start blowing your accounts because you just keep making mistakes because you're going from your original strategy to the next one, and then you blame everyone else but yourself, right? And I'm sure everyone's gone through this. I mean, there's no shame in this. Like literally everybody's gone through this. You've been profitable, you question the strategy, you're like, oh, there's something else that's better out there, so I'm gonna try this. And then you start making mistakes because you're not doing your original strategy, you're kind of mixing them up. And then you change to a different strategy, you blow all your accounts, and you're like, oh, the market's not on my side, or my mentor sucks, or my mentor strategy doesn't work, or someone else did something that caused me to blow my account. And then you go back and then what happens is a lot of people go back to their original strategy. Like whatever they first did, they go back to it, and then it's the same cycle again. I feel like this is probably what you're going through, Vimal, because every time you ask me about something, it's always about something different. And I feel like you haven't found consistency because you keep going through this cycle here. Like I know when you first joined us, you were doing pretty well. And then you always ask me about like certain strategies, supply and demand, ICT. And then I know you're going through this cycle because why would you ask that, right? Why would you even look to other strategies? And it's not just you, that's how a lot of people are. It's I've been in the trading space I've been trading for about, I think 15 years now. I've been trading from stocks to options to forex to futures for like 15 years now. I've been trading live with you guys for 8 years. I've been mentoring previously for like 6 years. So, I've gone like I've mentored people, and I know exactly what people go through because they ask the same questions. So whenever certain people ask questions like that, I already know that you're intrigued about ICT. That's why you want to go look into what he's doing. And then what happens is you start to apply his concepts, and it clashes with what we're doing here because we're momentum trading, right? So like the way we trade is this way. We momentum trade. The thing with a lot of the ways that ICT trades is they trade from tops and bottoms, basically. They look for supply and demand, and they look for price to balance off like certain areas, right? They look for price to go really heavy down, and then they try to catch that big push to the upside. That's not how we trade. That's why I've seen a lot of people who go from our trading style to this trading style, and there's a lot of confusion because with this right here, this is different. Like we trade within this middle area here, right? We trade with the direction of momentum. But people who trade like ICT concepts, they look for price to get to like a very extended point, and then they try to catch something for a high RR, right? They try to do something like that. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answers your question, Kamal. If you want to go deeper into learning that, I would recommend that you stick to that then. Don't come back to what we're doing here because it's just going to confuse you even more. I mean, it's good to have knowledge, but if you're not profitable yet, like you're not consistently profitable, I wouldn't really bother going into other styles or strategies because you just got to find one and you got to stick to that very one that you like to apply and build off that. That's why I like the strategies that we've been doing here. And don't worry, guys, there's no entries for us to take right now. Price is still kind of going back and forth sideways. within this range. So like if you have been following me for the past couple of years, guys, or not even the past couple of years, the past 8 years at least, we haven't changed our trading style, right? It's always been momentum based off the momentum and trend, and I mean everything here kind of lines up together. It's always going to be based off momentum and trend. So you guys can see, like, I've been profitable for a long time now because I don't change anything. I just stick to what I'm doing here. I make small adjustments to our entry prices and entry points, but I don't necessarily change the strategy. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm going to start looking at supply and demand over here, right? That's going to screw up my whole thought process. So I'm not doing stuff like that. I'm not trading support and resistance. I mean, support and resistance does work with our trading style, but supply and demand doesn't because it's completely different compared to what we're doing here. But you can use that to your advantage. Like if you're already trading one style and you're good at that stuff already and you're profitable, then you can start to implement stuff like supply and demand because you can use that as an extra confluence. But if you're trying to look into a specific strategy and just do that specific strategy, I mean, good luck because I'm pretty sure you're gonna not do very well because it's a totally different strategy. If you couldn't get like the foundation of like what you're already learning and you're trying to learn something completely different, you're just going to be completely confused with that. So yeah, I mean, I try to make things as simple as possible. Um, but yeah, I mean, you guys are in control of your account and you're in control of like what you guys are doing with your trading. So I'll try to point you guys in the right direction, but it doesn't necessarily mean people will listen. Let's see. So Ross is asking, how many accounts do you have at Tradify? You can have 7 straight to funded. Yeah, thanks, Daniel, for answering that. Here's the link right here again. If you guys are looking to use Tradify, I think Tradify is pretty good. I mean, personally, I think they're good. I don't know if they're going to stay good forever. Obviously, when these prop firms get big, they tend to run into a lot of what they call growing pains. It's it is it happens to everybody. Yeah, Vimal said I agree to your point to sticking to one strategy, but change is equally necessary. I mean, okay, Vimal. Again, I'm not going to stop you, right? You already kind of have an idea in your mind that you think change is necessary. I haven't changed anything in like 8 years, Vimal. So if you think change is necessary, like to do something big, then I mean, so be it. Maybe I'll talk to you like a year from now. We'll see if you made a change. And then you'll look at me of how we're doing here for a year from now, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing pretty good as we have been doing. And that's not in any condescending way. I'm just telling you that this is like, I've been trading for a long time. Well, it's not like I started trading like a year ago or 2 years ago. I've been trading momentum and trend for years now, and I haven't changed my style. It's been the same thing. I've never looked at supply and demand. I've never looked at any other concepts out there. I mean, sometimes I'll look at stuff for like confluences, but I mean, realistically, you've never seen me mark up supply and demand on the chart. So, I mean, change might be necessary for you because maybe this style isn't for you, right? This style just might not be for you. So Vimal said you change strategies though. So what strategies are you talking about? Because everything is based off momentum. Everything's been based off the momentum indicators. Everything's been based off the pivots. Everything's been based off the trend meter. Like what has changed? The breakouts are the same too. It's based off momentum. So I'm telling you here that like all the strategies are based off the same concepts, right? They're all like within momentum and with trend. So the style of strategies are the same. If you look at what do we start with? The pivot scalp, right? So if we start at the pivot scalp, it's the same thing. Okay, so look at the MPS of them all and look at the market flow V2 and tell me if they're different because they're pretty much the same thing. They're just different entry points. I think that's what you're not understanding. You're not understanding that they're the same concept. Exactly, they're similar. It's the same trading style, it's the same strategy. It's just different entry points. Instead of entering right at the retracement, you're entering at the retracement, but to the pivot. Right, Vimal? Like I'm trying to understand here because like you're making it seem like they're completely different strategies. They're literally the same thing. MPS, right? So if we're looking at MPS here, price has to be below the pivots, right? Price has to be trending. We have a sell signal. Price retraces up. When it retraces up, where's the entry going to be here if you're taking an MPS? It's going to be right here, right? So if you're doing a market flow V2, where's your entry going to be, Lamal? It's going to be right here in the same exact place. So how is it different? They're both the whole numbers, right? So I'm just trying to be like straight up with you, bro, because like you ask a lot of questions, but like a lot of your stuff is like it just doesn't make sense. And I only know this because you ask a lot of these questions very often. Like for example, okay, let's just go over here. Well, I'm just gonna show you real quick an example because you asked this question and I'm like, okay, bro, let's answer your question then. So see how price comes down right here and it comes right back up. When it retraces right here, where is the entry going to be, Amal? It's going to be at the 70, right? If you're doing a market flow V2 here, the only difference is that you're not looking at the pivots. Like I'm just adding the pivots on there. Well, it's not like a game changer here. It's not like, oh, my world's been changed because I added the pivots to it. We're adding the pivots so that we know where prices were tracing to. Like literally, if you take the MPS, where would your MPS entry be at? It'd be at the 70, right? Because it's the whole number. If you're entering a market flow V2, where are you entering at? It's going to be at the 70, or it's going to be right here at the 80. You're actually going to get better entry. Like, dude, I don't know how to explain this to you because I mean, you've been part of the group for a while. I'm also like, obviously, I understand the kind of questions that you ask, but the entries are like really right next to each other. You're saying I changed the strategy, but the strategy is literally the same. We have momentum, we have the retracement. The entry, if you did the MPS, would be right here. If you entered using the market flow V2, it's literally like 10 points away. It's the same strategy, whether you entered right here or whether you entered right here. I'm just trying to understand like where you're confused at, bro, because it's the same strategy. It's right here, and then there's another one right here. Either way, you took either entry, they both would have hit, whether you took that one or whether you took this one, right? The only difference with these strategies is the TP stop loss kind of changes a little bit. And we do that because certain people don't like doing negative risk to reward. And then on top of that, it's just you get better entry points. So I'm gonna leave it at that, Vimal. I mean, if you want to go and look for something else, I mean that's completely fine. But I don't know. I don't know how else can I explain it that they're pretty much the same thing. So let's go over here. William said, Kong said Sean will never trade those things. This has been his money-making strategy for years. Yeah, no, exactly, Kong. That's like, you got to find something that you're good at and then just stick to it. Like literally you can just stick to it. I mean, same with MPS. If the MPS was good for you, Vimal, you could just use that. Like you don't have to use market flow V2. I don't see like why you would even change if that's, if you think that's good, then stick to the MPS. It's the same exact strategy. It's just with the market flow V2, you're actually getting a better entry point because you're getting deeper of a retracement versus, getting in right away. Um, I know we kind of went off track, guys, with like our analysis here, but there's nothing going on. So as you can see over here, we're still stuck within the range. So there's no direction. In order for us to look for some market flow V2s or like in Vimal's sense, the MPS, we need to have a directional push. So we need price to push up like this, or we need price to push to the downside, um, like this, right? So since we don't have that and price is going sideways right here, obviously the stuff that you want to trade would be the sideways strategies, the V1 variations, it's the same thing. So again, Vimal's probably going to say, hey, you're doing V1 variations, you changed your strategy. No, I didn't, Vimal. We're doing the same thing, but we're still trading in the direction of the trend and momentum. So I just wanted to debunk all these things before you ask them, Vimal, because I know you're probably going to say, oh, now he's talking about V1 variation, or you're talking about CV patterns. It's still the same thing. We're trading the direction of the trend and we're looking for price to go up. So instead of taking entry up here, we're taking entry down here. So, yeah, guys, I mean, I'm hoping it makes sense to you guys and you guys aren't confused that like all these strategies, they're all intertwined. They're all very similar. They're all based off trend. They're all based off momentum. If you're trading the sideways strategy, you're just getting a head start into like where the entry would happen, right? So instead of going for the entries, so if we're doing a directional strategy, our entries would happen like right down here, right? Like while the trade is happening. When we're doing the sideways strategy, it's the same thing, but we're just getting in right here when price is retracing down. So there's different legs to a strategy, right? You can get in at the bottom, you can get in at the middle, you can get in at the top. If price starts to reverse back down from here, then you do the same thing. You get in from the top right here. This would be a V1 variation to the downside. So I will try to make things as straightforward as possible. I'm pretty sure they're straightforward, but yeah, if there's any reason why you guys think that these strategies are different, let me know and I'll explain it to you because they're not different. They're all like very, very similar. Yeah, Brock said there are KT strategies with different flavors for different tongues, for different seasons, yeah, etc. Yeah, it's the same thing. Everything. So if you ever look at my strategies, they're all based off trend. So the trend is always going to be number one. You want to look at the direction of the trend. And the number two, and sometimes tied with number one, is momentum. Because everything is in this type of structure, right? We trade directional momentum strategies. Like the reversal strategies work this way. Price pushes up, retraces, and then when it reverses right here to go straight up, that's what we're looking for when we're trading these sideways strategies. Because of course, price is going to go sideways sometimes, right? Price will go up, it'll retrace. It might even retrace for a little bit. So this is a pattern that you might see sometimes, right? And this is where the V1 variation patterns would work well because price goes up, retraces, V1 variation, price goes up, goes down, V1 variation, continuation, breakout V3 continuation, pivot scalp, momentum scalp, etc. That's how the strategies work. They all have a base of similar concepts with regard to trend and momentum. Nice. So CJ's finally in. Perfect. Let's see. William said, I'm the perfect example. I've been trading for very long, has not been successful yet. Why? Because I keep switching and trying to find the best thing. Staying consistent is a key, and there's not no better answer. Yeah, exactly. No, and it's funny because William will always message me, and this is just like our typical conversation. Like William will message me and be like, hey Sean, I blew my account again. What can I do differently? And I'm like, okay, tell me what you did differently. And then he always tells me that he tries something new, like a different type of strategy. But lately, William's been very consistent because he's been sticking to just one thing. Yeah, William said, try to find someone who's been posting all his trades for that long. You won't find anyone else other than Sean. Yeah, it's I'm trying to be the example for you guys that consistency is going to be the key thing. That's really going to be the key thing with to be good at trading or be good at anything, really. If you guys have looked at, if you guys have looked at the YouTube, I think the YouTube is a good example. So if you look at my YouTube channel here and you look at my videos, you can or you go over here to like live, you could like literally go all the way down to like 2022 or 2021, and you'll see that the same strategies that we're applying right now or something similar to it was being applied. So you'll see like, I have like, how many videos do I have here? I have over 1,800 live streams. Like I've been trading live for 1,800 times. So if you go far back, like to like 2020 even, and you look at the way that I've been trading the same exact way since then. Like Vamal said, of course, things kind of little changes happen, but they're not big changes. Like it's the same strategy, it's just different entry points. So yeah, there goes story time for you guys. There's not really much going on here. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to, dive into the chat. There's just nothing going on here because there's no direction of price. Price is going back and forth. And there's just nothing really to take here. If you guys want to take sideways entries, you guys can take sideways entries, but there isn't even any entries here that have come up. Like I said, the sideways strategies aren't necessarily meant for like markets that only go sideways. They're meant for like when price is currently ranging before it breaks out, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that before, and it happens here every day. Sometimes you'll see price kind of go up a little bit, it'll come back down, it'll come back up, and then eventually it'll break out, right? So within this middle area here, you can take the sideways strategies, and when price starts breaking out, you can start using the directional strategies. It's all part of the same circle. It's the same circle of strategies. We have news right here at 7:30. It's low impact. So the news right there at 7:30 is the gas stock change. We have the Fed interest rate decision today, guys. It's forecasted to be positive. So it's currently at 5%. They're anticipating to drop it down to 0.25%, so 4.75. This is another reason why I was expecting price to be bullish today. I was expecting price to be bullish because they are dropping the interest rate by 0.25%. So, with the breakout today, everything kind of lines up. Like I'm not only taking the breakout for a specific reason, I have other confluences. Like I knew this news was coming out this morning, and that's why I was like, okay, price is likely to be bullish today. But because the news doesn't come out until about 11 o'clock, I mean, market here might just go sideways from now until then. That's just how it's gonna work. Yeah, let's see. Drew over here said liquidity and MPS only for me. Yeah, and that's key. Like if you could, when you guys are applying the strategies, you guys should stick to just two strategies at a time. Because if you can do that, like I feel like liquidity and MPS is like some of the key ones for a lot of people. And then on top of that, you can swap out. Like for example, like liquidity is always going to be number one for a lot of people, but you can swap out MPS with the market flow V2, pivot scalp, breakout V3 continuation. You can have a different directional strategy there. What I would recommend is to have three main strategies that you want to focus on like at all times. So this is what would be my choice. Or you could do four strategies. Four strategies to follow at all times. So one, have a breakout strategy. And then for the breakout strategy, I'll be doing momentum breakout, right? Directional strategy. For me, I do market flow V2 because I like putting pending orders. Sideways strategy, V1 variation. And then of course liquidity. And that's it. I mean, if you guys can, so like, look, if you guys are just starting, and I think this is what I would teach like the most like anyone who is getting into trading, you just have one strategy for every type of market structure, right? Breakout strategy, if you want to do that, you don't have to do this. It's not necessary, but if you want to do it, you can have a breakout strategy. That can be easily taken off. If you don't like doing breakouts, then that's fine. Don't take that entry. The main things here that matter are the directional strategies, right? So for me, I like market flow V2s. So when price is going down like this, I'll take market flow V2s. If you could just focus on these strategies right here, I think you guys can kill it. Like I think anybody could kill it. You can even take off liquidity. Like you don't even need liquidity. You can take off breakout and you can take off liquidity. You just need a directional strategy and then you need a sideways strategy so that you have basically a playbook for whatever happens in the market. When price is going down, okay, perfect, right? You'll do your market flow V2s right here. Only apply market flow V2s in this market structure, right? And then say, for example, price is now going, and then from here, price goes into a range. Right here, only apply V1 variation in this market structure, right? And then say, for example, here, price now starts to climb back up. Now what happens here? Only apply market flow V2 in the structure. It's super simple, guys. Like I feel like a lot of people try to overcomplicate it, but like realistically, it's not that you don't need to overcomplicate it that much. And then if you want to include like the breakout strategy, then obviously over here on open, only take breakout on open. And then if you want to take liquidity, only take liquidity when price is like breaking through like structure or something like that. Like it's really, really simple, but I feel like a lot of people want to overcomplicate it. Your playbook only really needs about 4 strategies, guys. I think for the next mentoring that I do, I haven't taught or had a mentoring group in a while. I think for the next mentoring group, I'm going to implement this. I'm literally going to tell them this is all you have to take and this is all you have to study. Because if you can just do this, I think you'll be fine for the most part. What happens with a lot of people is they try to overcomplicate it and then have like, 3 different directional strategies. It's okay to have 3 different directional strategies if you're good. But for the most part, uh, I mean, literally, you only need one and you just wait for that setup every time. Yeah, Drew said 10 to 15 points based off ATR. Yeah, I mean, that's key. So Drew over here, he only goes for the scalps, right? He goes for 10, 15 points every single time. If you can do that consistently, then you can make a lot of profit because you're getting that low-hanging fruit. Yeah, I mean, ideally, that's probably what should be done and what you would like to do because it's just less stress and you just have a better turnout rate, of course, for your entries. But yeah, guys, so right now we're currently going sideways. Since we're in a sideways market, like I said, you probably want to stick to V1 variations. And that's probably it for right now. So there's a V1 variation that came up right here. There's another V1 variation that's basically running right here too. It's right at the opening price though, so this probably would have been skipped. This one over here was okay though, because it was like right before I hit the opening price, but this one over here would be entry for V1 variation. Yeah, CJ said, I agree. Liquidity is my number one always, then MPS, market flow V2, market flow V1, pivot scalp if the market is sideways. If market is going, oh, if market's going directional, and then if market's going sideways, high level momentum scalp, V1 variation, V2 variation, CV. It helps to learn the strategies, like really study them, and you will just automatically begin to see setups without even trying. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, CJ. For a lot of people who are like they're just kind of stuck, I would focus on just one strategy at a time. CJ over here, he's been with us for, I mean, how long, CJ? It's been years now, right? Since the beginning. CJ's been part of the group from, yeah, probably from the pretty much the beginning. So he's able to apply multiple strategies. So instead of just having a market flow V2, he also implements, MPS, market flow V1, pivot scalp, and you can't forget the triple confluence. That, of course. So instead of just doing one strategy, he has all of these listed for his directional. And then same with the sideways stuff over here. Instead of just doing V1 variation, he does consolidation variations, high level momentum scalps. Yeah. See, so CJ is like a good example of someone who that's been around for a while and he's pretty much mastered it because he just sticks to one style of trading. I never hear CJ tell me like, hey, Sean, there's a supply zone coming up, bro. You should look out for that. He never tells me that because he knows that like he's good at like one thing, which is momentum trading. So yeah, I mean, I'll try to point you guys in the proper direction, but again, I can't make you guys learn something that you guys don't want to learn. So, all right, guys, 7:40 right now. It's getting close to it is getting close to 8 o'clock. As you can see, there's nothing going on here. Price continues to go sideways, and there's just nothing to really take here or really implement. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Unfortunately, today just wasn't the trading day that I was hoping for. I was hoping that there would be more of a directional push, but as you can see here, there isn't. It's still going sideways right now. Yeah, Drew said VWAP. Yeah, no. The VWAP is good though. Like the VWAP, if well, it's not really good for our specific type of trading style, but the way that the VWAP works, and I have it here on my chart because I've went over it with someone before. The VWAP acts like a magnet basically. Price kind of pulls back to the VWAP, right? So it's good if you're I think the VWAP would be good if you're trading like tops and bottoms, right? If you're going for something that's super far below and then you get like say a V1 variation pattern. I think that's what I was using it for because I was using this here to identify the retracement back to VWAP basically. If you look for a V1 variation that's super far out, it'll typically pull back to the VWAP. Doesn't always pull back to it, but it does work as a good anchor sometimes. But then again, I scrapped that idea. I was like, that's just overcomplicating stuff, like way too much. Yeah, exactly. Drew said hard to use in YM, but it's good for NQ. Yeah, Kenny said I only use VWAP as a red flag. No, and I agree with you too. I don't like using the VWAP as like it's red flag, if it's overextended or if it's too close to the middle point. That's what I would use it for as well. Because it's yeah, it's the problem with the VWAP is that a lot of people use it. So you don't want to use tools that everybody uses, right? That's why like for my indicators, nobody really has these indicators. So it works to our advantage, especially the momentum indicator, right? I'm probably the only person with a momentum indicator because I created my own. Um, and that's why it works well for like what we do here. Sam said, I feel like NQ is about to sneeze later at FOMC. Yeah, I agree too, Sam. I think price is going to be bullish later. So I think I would probably recommend just sitting out of the market until FOMC comes out, guys. I think what's going to happen here is probably what Sam's anticipating too. It's probably going to go sideways here for like the next couple hours. And then eventually, when the interest rates are confirmed to drop, it's going to climb right back up. It's going to be bullish. So FOMC comes out right here at 11 o'clock. It's still got a while to go until it gets to that point. But that is kind of what I'm expecting here. Yeah, Brock said he uses it for NQ, only for NQ. Your risk of using it is everyone thinks it's the holy grail, hence easy to manipulate too. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. So that's the thing that you guys want to be careful for if you're using tools that everybody else is using. Like if you see a YouTuber or Instagram person like promote a specific indicator like the VWAP, you probably don't want to use it because if everybody else is using it, then it's going to be highly manipulated. Like it's not going to work the way that they teach you that it works. It might work like maybe once every like 100 times, but if someone that's like really well watched and they're sharing something specific, here's the thing, like with trading, if you have something that really works, you probably want to keep it a secret, right? And that's why like we've kind of limited things with us here because I feel like a lot of people are trying to mimic my momentum indicator. I mean, that's a given, right? People are going to try to mimic this, and I don't want people to be able to get good enough to actually mimic it. So that's why for me, I try to keep this stuff as low key as possible. Like Sam was saying before, like I know it's funny because like we try to hide stuff from the public, but like you don't know who's watching the live stream, right? There could be 20 people here, there could be 100 people here. I mean, in the past, like when you're applying the breakout V3 breakout strategy, that was we had like almost 200 to 500 people on the live stream at a time. So you guys can see how I purposely kind of made the group a little bit smaller, just so that like us here, like we can profit off the moves here versus, the general public, of course. But all right, guys, the market here is just getting slower and slower. There's nothing going on here. Price is actually starting to squeeze. So like I think as we get closer and closer later to the FOMC news, it's probably gonna break out. Yeah, CJ said they're trying to mimic your pivot indicator too. Yeah, I mean, you guys can try to copy it. Like I even try to copy it myself. Um, a lot of people try, they say to just use moving averages, which it's fine. If you guys want to use moving averages, you guys can. But if you line up the moving averages with the pivots, it's not going to line up. Because the thing is, this indicator adapts with the market conditions. So it becomes weighted or it becomes more freely spread out, depending on how the market volatility is moving. So you can see over here, it kind of moves with it and it stays pretty close, like pretty tight to price. Versus if you're using a normal moving average, it's going to be super wide. It's not going to be as uh, as active as my pivots here. Because it took me years to create this pivot indicator. I didn't have this indicator initially. We first started with the trend meter, and I was like, okay, I need something that's more interactive with price. So that's where I created the pivot indicator. I'm like, okay, this thing actually works really well. So just stuff to keep in mind. I'm always going to look for ways to make more money in the market, of course. I'm going to stick to the same style, but I'll look for different entry points so that we can get in at better price points. But yeah, all right, guys. I think that's it for today. It's 7:45 right now. Market's not doing anything. It's probably just going to keep squeezing within this area. As you can see, for the past hour, price has not gone anywhere. It's between the 950 and the 900 mark here. Hasn't even pushed more than 50 points, which is crazy. So yeah, if you guys don't have to trade, I'm pretty sure nobody here does have to trade. We'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session. We'll be taking the breakout. Hopefully the breakout tomorrow is a winner, because if it is a winner, then we're going to close out the week with a net positive for the breakout strategy. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's going to be it for the day. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. For you guys who are on the YouTube, just make sure you get on early, okay? Get on like at 6:20. Like literally get on, like be waiting for the live stream to come up at 6:20, because you'll be able to get in. Whenever I stream the live session, I go on public initially. So I'll go on public and then you guys can just hop on and then it'll be available to you. Or if you guys are not part of the Discord, go to the Discord. I'll post the link here. So if you guys want to sit in on it, go to the Discord over here and then I will post it under announcements. This is just so like if you guys are here, it's fine. I'll let you guys sit in on it, but not for the general public, of course. So just go to the Discord here, go to live trading sessions, or go to the chat, and the unlisted link will be posted here. It's not going to be for the public; it'll just be unlisted. So you guys will have to have the link to get in. Sam said, not many trade YM also on YouTube, especially being profitable like you. Yeah, I try to keep it like I said, under the wraps. It's not that I don't want to help people or like give education. I just don't want like random people to come in and try to like copy what we're doing. Because if you guys have seen how I trade very different compared to a lot of people. Like I don't trade support and resistance. I don't trade supply and demand. I just trade momentum. And it helps because if nobody's doing what we're doing, that means that our strategies will just keep working, right? Because the market's not going to do something opposite of what we're doing. They're going to do opposite of what everybody else is. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow